Hey everybody, Tabby here from the Wellness Center at Highlands Hospital, continuing our proper form series. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you some standing and seated abdominal exercises. So our core or our abdominal area is a problematic zone for many of us. Some questions that I get a lot from my members. Now keep in mind, most of my members are at the age of 50 or above. So they have problems getting down onto the mat to do basic crunches. So they asked me, is there anything they can do to work that abdominal region where they don't have to get down on the floor? So what I'm going to show you today is some great options that you can do standing or even seated, and they'll work those abdominal muscles just as well as laying on the floor doing either crunches or planks. Okay, so let's get started. The first exercise that I'm going to show you is kind of like doing a crunch on the floor. So we're going to start with our hands behind our head. My feet are about hip width apart. I know you can't see them. And all we're going to do is bring our shoulders slightly forward and back up. So let me just turn sideways so you can see me. So you want to stand up as tall as you can, and on an exhale breath, you're just going to round the back slightly forward and back up. So this is not a very big movement. I don't want you pulling on the back of your head. We don't want to hurt our neck. And I don't want you coming clear down here because that's going to hurt that lower back. We don't want to crunch. So it's just a very small movement down and up. You want to make sure that you match your breath with your movement. So on an inhale breath, you're going to lift up as tall as you can, and then exhale, you're going to round forward. So inhale and exhale. What's really important about matching that breath with your movement, especially on an abdominal exercise, is when you're exhaling, you're actually contracting the abdominal muscles, which makes the exercise more effective. Okay, just to bump this up a little bit more, we're going to add a knee. So again, hands behind the head, up as tall as you can. You're going to bring your right knee up and you're going to meet in the center. So on an exhale breath, bring the knee up and down, and then the left side and down. So inhale tall, exhale lean. Inhale and exhale. So this gets not only the upper abdominal area involved, but also your lower abs as well. It's really a great exercise. If that's too hard or you have trouble with your balance, you can always have a seat. So let me show you that next. So when we go ahead and have a seat in the chair, the first thing you want to do is you want to try to scooch forward a little bit up off of the chair. And what I mean by that, if you're sitting with your back completely up against the chair and you're trying to do an exercise where you're leaning forward, it kind of limits your range of motion. So if you just scoot your butt forward just a little bit, it gives you a little bit more freedom to move your body around. So we're going to start the same way we did when we were standing. You're going to have your hands by your head. You're going to lift up as tall as you can on the inhale breath. Then you're going to exhale, bring the knee up, and you're meeting in the middle. So again, forward. You're just meeting in the middle. Okay, great. That's number one. And that one, and the next one I'm going to show you is a variation of that one. You can either do at a slower pace, which will engage the muscles even more because you're controlling it, or you can go at a faster pace, and then that will also be cardiovascular and you're burning calories. So both of which are good. So the next one I'm going to show you is a seated or standing, like a bicycle crunch that we do laying on our back. So again, same position, hands by the head, elbows out to the side, up tall. This time we're actually going to cross over. So you're going to take that right shoulder to your left knee. So bring your left knee up as you bring your right shoulder over and back up. And then the other side. So think of half of an X. So we're meeting the opposite shoulder to the opposite knee. So this is kind of working those oblique muscles, which are on the side of the abdomen. There's lots of muscles going on in that abdominal region. We got to try to hit all of them. So again, up tall, exhaling as you meet in the middle. Again, do not pull on your head for this one. Your hands are just glazing the side of your head. And again, we do the same thing standing, so up tall, and you're going to cross over. Cross over. And again, you can either go slow and try to hold at the top, and hold, or you can speed it up, crossing over. Okay, great. So that's number two. So number three, we are going to do one for the side of our abdomen. So this is like our love handle area. So I'm going to grab a lightweight for this, but you don't have to use one. Okay, and for this one, we're gonna use that knee again like we did in the last two. So for this one, you're gonna take your knee and you're actually gonna open it out to the side. What that does is that engages the side of this abdomen. So if you just wanna try the knee first, you're pointing that knee out to the side. The knee is facing up towards the ceiling. Okay, if you wanna make it a little bit harder, you can add an arm. You're gonna reach overhead and we're gonna meet on the side in the middle. So bring your shoulder over, meet. That really gets that love handle involved. Okay, you can either hold onto the chair or to make it a little bit harder, try to balance. And then of course we have to do the other side. So again, open that knee up to the side and meet. Okay, this one you really cannot do seated, but I will show you another option to hit the same muscle seated. So go ahead and have a seat. We're gonna keep our weight in our right hand and you're just gonna try to hang your arm down to the side. Then your other hand is gonna be up by the side of your head. All we're gonna do is lean over and bring it back up. Lean and pull. So this hits that same muscle group as the exercise that we just did. Okay, and then a couple more on the other side. Over and up. So inhale over, exhale lift. Inhale and exhale. Okay, great. Okay, the last exercise I'm going to show you for the abdominal area is a twisting motion. So twisting with the elbows down, again, we're going to start seated and then I'll show you standing. And again, there's a ton of variations that you can do with this one as well. We're going to do a twist side to side. Now what's important here when you're twisting, it's also a motion for that spine and we don't want to hurt that spine. So you want to make sure you're pulled up and in that belly and your chest is up tall. We don't want to lean forward or back. So you're up as tall as you can. You don't want to be leaning forward or backward as we're twisting. So sit up as tall as you can, elbows are down, and you're just going to move those shoulders side to side. What this does is it really brings that abdominal area in. You can even pull the elbows up a little bit. You want to make sure you keep your head forward though. So you don't want to be moving your head around like this. Shoulders are moving side to side. And the last version, you can have straight arms. This one kind of intensifies because we have a long lever. Okay, give me two more. And one. Okay, good. Let me show you those ones standing real quick. When you're standing, when you're seated, you can't move your hips around. You want to make sure when you're in a standing position, you have a solid base. So your feet are hip width apart, you have a slight bend in the knee, your hips are planted. What I mean by that, for the first one, if you're twisting side to side, your hips are not moving. So it's not this, no motion in the hips. The hips stay stationary. The only thing moving is your shoulders, side to side. And then again, we can come up with the elbows, really pull that belly up and in. And the last one, arms straight out to the side. And good. Okay guys, well this is Tabby here from the Wellness Center, and I hope that we get those abdominals toned up even though we cannot get on the floor. And I'm just here to prove you that at any age, you can exercise. Take care guys.